Have you ever felt like something in your life suddenly shifted, but you couldn't quite put your finger on what changed? Perhaps a familiar place feels slightly different, a person's behavior has subtly altered, or an outcome you expected has completely turned in an unexpected direction. These are not mere coincidences. They are signs that you have shifted into a parallel reality without even realizing it. You see, reality is not fixed. It is fluid, constantly shifting in response to your inner state. The world you experience is a direct reflection of your consciousness. What you assume, believe, and accept as true shapes the version of reality you inhabit. Most people go through life believing that everything is happening to them, unaware that they are actually the operant power behind every experience. But when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you begin to recognize the signs of shifting between different versions of reality. One of the clearest signs that you've moved into a parallel reality is when past events seem to have changed. You may recall something happening in a certain way, yet now, the details are different. A conversation you clearly note of having with someone is now denied by them. A book title, a logo, or a song lyric you know was one way is now something else entirely. This is what some call the Mandela effect, but in truth, it is simply an indication that you have stepped into a new version of reality where those details were always this way. Another sign is when people around you suddenly behave differently toward you without any apparent reason. A person who once treated you coldly may now be warm and friendly, or someone you were close to may now feel distant. This happens because, in shifting to a new reality, you have entered a version of existence where your relationships are different. People do not change on their own, they reflect your state of being. When you shift, their responses to you shift as well. You may also notice that opportunities, events, and circumstances unfold in a way that seems almost too perfectly aligned with your desires. Perhaps you once struggled with something, but now it flows effortlessly. Maybe you wanted a certain job, and without much effort, it lands in your lap. This is not luck. This is the effect of aligning your consciousness with a reality where those things were always meant for you. Sometimes, the shift is so seamless that you barely recognize it happened. You only notice small, subtle changes, new people appearing in your life, minor differences in your daily surroundings, or even a shift in the way you feel about something that once triggered you. These are indications that you have moved into a new state of being, one where the world around you must conform to the new assumptions you hold. But the most important sign of all is the way you feel. Have you ever woken up one morning and sensed that something was different, even though everything looked the same? That deep knowing within you, that undeniable feeling that you are not quite where you used to be, is the strongest confirmation of a shift. Your emotions are a powerful indicator of the reality you are in. If you have been practicing new assumptions, living in the end, and truly embodying the state of your desired reality, you will feel the shift before you see it. The key to consciously shifting realities is understanding that you are always in motion. Every thought, every assumption, and every belief moves you in and out of different states of being. If you wish to remain in a reality that aligns with your desires, you must maintain the inner conviction that it is already yours. The moment you waver and return to your old beliefs, you slip back into an undesired reality. So, how do you ensure that your shifts bring you to the reality you prefer? The answer is simple: assume the feeling of the wish being fulfilled. Do not wait for external confirmation before believing. Believe first, and the world will follow. If you desire wealth, assume the feeling of abundance now. If you wish for love, embody the feeling of being deeply cherished. If you long for success, carry yourself as someone who already possesses it. The world you see is nothing but a reflection of the world within you. When you change within, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself accordingly. If you look closely at your life right now, you will see the evidence of every assumption you have held, whether consciously or unconsciously. The good news is that you are never stuck in one reality. The moment you shift your focus, you begin the process of stepping into a new one. Now, some may wonder, if reality shifts are so common, why do most people not notice them? The answer is that they are too focused on the external world. They believe in the illusion of permanence. They cling to the past and allow their current circumstances to dictate their future. But those who are aware, those who understand that imagination is the only reality, see the signs everywhere. They know that their world is malleable, and with every assumption, they mold it into something new. Pay attention to the patterns in your life. If you keep experiencing the same struggles, it is because you have not yet shifted your state. If you feel like things are suddenly flowing, it is because you have entered a reality where ease and success are natural. Trust these signs. They are not random. They are the result of your consciousness aligning with a new version of existence. You do not need permission to shift. You do not need external validation. You only need to assume the reality you wish to experience and persist in that assumption. It's important to realize that when you shift into a parallel reality, not only are your circumstances affected, but so are your thoughts and emotions. You might notice that certain old habits, reactions, or triggers no longer have the same grip on you. Things that once used to disturb you or cause stress may not seem so significant anymore. This is because, in a new reality, your internal state changes, and the things that once defined you or controlled your emotions no longer do. As your consciousness shifts, the emotional responses to your past conditions no longer hold power over you, and you begin to experience a deeper sense of peace. The more you learn to recognize these shifts, the more you'll be able to consciously direct your movements in and out of different realities. One powerful tool in this process is your ability to observe your thoughts without judgment. When you observe your thoughts, you create space between them and yourself, which allows you to shift your awareness in the direction you choose. You become less attached to the story you've been telling yourself and more open to new possibilities. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you shift realities, you may encounter a sense of disorientation. You might feel like you're not quite sure where you are anymore, or the world may appear slightly altered. This can be unsettling, but it is simply a sign that you are no longer in the same version of reality. You are now experiencing life from a different lens, one that aligns more closely with your desires and inner state. It's important to trust the process during these moments of uncertainty and give yourself time to adjust. The mind is incredibly powerful when it comes to shaping your reality. As you continue to shift, you'll begin to notice that your thoughts become more deliberate and intentional. When you understand that every thought has the potential to alter your life, you start to take full responsibility for the world you create. This awareness is crucial, as it allows you to make conscious decisions that shape your reality in ways that were once impossible to imagine. Do not look to the outer world for proof, it will come. Your job is to remain faithful to the unseen, knowing that what you accept in imagination will become your reality. The greatest realization you can have is that you are not a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of them. If you find yourself in a reality that does not serve you, shift. Assume a new state, persist in the feeling of your desired reality, and watch as the world transforms to match your inner conviction. Every moment is an opportunity to step into a new reality. Every thought is a doorway. Choose wisely, for the reality you inhabit is the one you have accepted as true. If you are seeing the signs, if you are feeling the shift, trust it. You have already moved into a new world, now it is time to claim it as your own.